Well, hello there, motherfuckers. So, this whole thing with Braun Strowman singing on Raw, I've got people that, and I knew that they were going to be divisive about this. I really did. Like I said, I warned you guys before. I said I understand that a lot of people think that this segment is funny. Braun Strowman with the bass, the big stand-up bass, puts it in his lap, starts singing to Elias, and right away, one particular person on my videos brought up a very, very good point. He talked, because I think he might have heard my video where I talked about one of my favorite segments. It occurred in 2001. Stone Cold and The Rock singing Margaritaville, and he was saying they didn't even sing it that well, but that was such a fun, entertaining segment because there was something about this. We all knew that The Rock was tough and Stone Cold was tough, but they let us know early that these guys had comical sides to them. And the other thing is, you got to understand about this, is that they were not monsters. Stone Cold still wanted to have a good time. That's why he drank beer. It's not, he was a badass, but he didn't have to be super serious all the time where he's so one-dimensional. It was okay to explore different sides of Stone Cold because we all saw Stone Cold. Remember, like, when he was the GM, he rode that fucking chair with the wheels all the way down to the ring. Remember, The Rock would joke all the time about shoving things up people's Rudy Poo candy asses. So when they sang to each other, it made perfect sense. And then The Rock says, "I'll never forget," and then he rock bottomed him. Now, you could turn around and say, okay, so after it was all said and done, you even brought up the point that Strowman beat up Elias after this whole little comedy skit. And you got a good point there. You really do. You really honestly have a good point there. Yeah, he did beat him up afterwards. But there's only one problem with something. I had said this last week during the triple threat match with Cena and Elias. He was playing to the crowd a little bit too much, asking them if they wanted one more running power slam. I says, a monster is not going to ask the crowd if they want something. Kane never did it. King Kong Bundy never did it. Bam Bam Bigelow never did it. You don't ask, the Undertaker never did it. You don't ask the crowd if they want something. Like I understand that he's kind of like in a babyface role right now. Maybe some might say a tweener of sorts, or an anti-hero. Circa Stone Cold, 1997, 1998, 1999, whatever the case may be. The thing is, he's a monster. As I said, Stone Cold and The Rock were not flipping over fucking, ambulances. They weren't fucking flipping over semis and throwing announce tables on top of people. They weren't like taking grappling hooks and pulling down huge steel structures on top of people, trying to like harm them in like vicious ways. That is the character they're trying to convey for Braun Strowman. He's a savage. He's a Neanderthal. This guy's unchained. He's crazy. He's a nut. He's unpredictable. It's kind of like what they wanted to do with Umaga, but I think that Strowman's a bit more, a bit better in this role. And also, he's bigger, stronger, looks better as well. So, no offense to the late Umaga, but I'm just saying, like, there's a comparison there, and they could do more with Strowman, and they are kind of doing more with him, which is good for the current era. If they're doing something better than the past, I'm always happy about that. But when you have him out there on the stage singing, and I don't care if he's got a good voice or not, it's not a good idea because also, it's very goofy. He's coming out there with the bass, putting it on his fucking lap and shit, and starts singing. It's out of character, and I understand, like, okay, that can be funny sometimes to be out of character. What Culture just put out a video the 8 times that Randy Orton was out of character. I get it. I understand that. But the thing is, that, for certain people it works. But when you have somebody that looks like Braun Strowman, can you imagine if The Undertaker cracked a joke? You know what I'm saying? Like during one of those like super serious pros, there's certain wrestlers that could get away with comedy, and there's certain wrestlers that cannot. And oh, it's just one thing. No, no, no. I'm sorry, it's not just one thing. Some people are trying to also make it. People are saying this on my Raw review as well. Oh, Braun Strowman does one thing, and you want to get one thing. One thing. I already told you what they've been doing to this guy. They got him dressed up as an elf. Or did you miss that? Because the video sure does have a lot of fucking views on their fucking YouTube channel. Or the mixed match challenge, palling around with Alexa Bliss. Look at the little t-shirt I'm wearing. Why? I mean, like, and now you want to do this? No, I'm sorry. It's not just one thing. It's a bunch of things leading up to this. And I already had called it last week. I says that they're not going a good way with Strowman. They need to turn back the other way before it's too late. And now they've already went a little bit too far. And people are like, okay, they're using it like, I'm saying he's ruined, he's no good. I'm not saying that anymore. I still love Strowman. I like him a lot. I think this is a talented guy. I think when I say that a person looks like they belong, he belongs. I said this time and time again. I said he is one of my favorites on the roster. And I don't even like this current roster. But I'm saying this is a guy that looks like he deserves to be there. He would have deserved to be there during the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era. He would have deserved to be there during the 80s and the early 90s. This guy belongs one way or the other. But stop defending the fact that they made him look like a fucking goofy fucking Malufi. I mean, he really did look like that. I don't care if, he managed to look tough at the end of it. It was just plain fucking goofy. Even him hitting him with the base. The fact that it's like so large and like cumbersome, it didn't look cool. I did not get a cool vibe from this. I felt like it was very nerdy, fucking geeky, and just it didn't have a good feel to it. I wasn't getting the good vibe from this segment. I liked when if they were going to do comedy with him, I think when he took the bite of the chocolate cake, that was okay. Because it's like, that's, you were expecting him to, like, smash the cake in the guy's face, and I explained it, but instead, they just wanted to have a little bit of fun. And that was just, like, a little small, tiny thing, and it didn't, like, it's not him singing, is pretty much what I'm saying. It's not him fucking singing, so there's a difference there. You guys understand the difference? You understand the differential there? That, him taking a bite of the cake is nothing like fucking him singing. He's singing. I can't seem to do that justice enough. This guy's a monster. He's flipping over an ambulance. They were saying he was going to, like, kill Roman Reigns, and now he's singing. I'm just saying, it's like The Rock and Stone Cold. Classic Margaritaville segment. I get it. People said, like, okay, these are two tough guys and they're singing and everything, but that was entertaining. And also, guys, how are you even comparing that segment? Even if this was a little bit funny, that segment was really funny and entertaining, and that's Stone Cold and The Rock. I'm sorry, but there was, like, kind of no comparison there. As good as Braun Strowman is, he's not those two guys. That was a special spot that only those two guys could do, and it worked. And more people were watching the product at that time. So it's a little bit sad when we have to sit here and defend this segment that, first of all, people are not even going to remember in a few weeks. Most people didn't even fucking see it. And yeah, pretty much, guys, I was not a fan of it, as you could fucking tell. So there you go. That's my my thoughts on it. This has been your YWC champ, signing out.